Hi Bengal Nation, my name's Ryan Sargent. I'm the Alumni Director here at Idaho State, and we are so excited for Bengal Giving Day that's here right now. And I'm joined with Dr. Grace Jacobson, who's a longtime faculty member up at the School of Nursing. Thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome.
And you're here because you're a big supporter of the Helen and Robert Scholarship in Nursing. That's made a huge impact here at ISU for our nursing students. Tell us a little bit about why that scholarship is so meaningful to you.
Well, it's meaningful to me. For one thing, it helped me when I got my master's degree in the first Master's of Nursing program here at ISU.
So you're an actual recipient of the scholarship.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
And I was so thankful for it. And Helen was just so anxious to get any person that really wanted to be a good nurse and have a baccalaureate of science, and she needed money. And when she finally got in a position where she could encourage her other faculty to write for grants, she then distributed the money to students without, it wasn't, what do you call it? Not a scholarly one. They didn't have to be A-plus students. They just had a need to get in and a real desire to be nurses. So I could appreciate that. Yeah. I do.
Helen
appreciate it.
Was certainly a transformational figure at the School of Nursing. Had a huge impact with, like you said, countless students who have now gone on to be nurses. And the impact of that scholarship lasts to today.
Right, that's certainly true. You know, her faculty brought in over $2 million that Helen had to distribute, and first came the scholarships for the students, and then came improvements. You know, we moved from a 3-year diploma program with Bannock Hospital. Bannock Hospital was built, when 1950s. And the diploma schools started with the same people being nurses and teachers. So it started at Bannock, and it was years before Helen was hired in 1962 originally to teach. And it wasn't until 1965 that she became in charge of the program. But already she was making big improvements in the 3-year program. And it was 1963. I have to check. No, it was 1973 when NLN accredited the program for the first time. And in 1970, a new building was going up. We could see it from Bannock Hospital.
Yeah, just right across.
Yeah, it was going up in the science area of ISC, which was Idaho State College at that time. And then it changed to Idaho State University. It was dedicated in 1972, and Helen's name was put on it, the Beckley building. She was so thrilled.
That happened just a few years ago, right?
Right, and then on top of that, she found out that in a little town in Nevada, I couldn't find the name for it, but a hospital was built to replace the one that her mother had in her home years before. And Helen was just thrilled with that too. That's the Beckley Hospital.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyhow, the building at ISU was dedicated in 1972, and Helen continued working. We did the grants, over $2 million, unbelievable amount, and the money she distributed after the students, the needy students, were taken care of. Then it went for continuing ed programs, and many of the students were working RNs who had a 2 or 3 year degree,
get that
and they
BSN
wanted to
or-
get their BS. And so not only did Helen start new programs that would help them do that, but she started them where they lived. So she was out in the community with workshops, making it much easier, believe me, for a working nurse to attend class. Oh, it was sort of hard to come up here. We added new courses in psych, public health, and so none of the state would be upset. She put students in all 4 districts of public health at that time across the state. Anyhow, care of the aged, and new teaching modalities in the equipment. Computers came to be, and all of a sudden we had
You had to learn
computers,
how to-
which I didn't learn how to use very good, but anyhow, we had the means for the students to learn much more easily in their hometowns, and our students benefited from that were here at the university, especially the very young ones. Enrollment really increased, and it was interesting to see it grow. The Helen was very practical but lady, and she wanted everything possible to make her students the best students. And so in the new Beckley building, she built a swimming pool. And this pool, which I'm sorry we don't still have.
I haven't heard this story. I've never heard that there was a swimming pool.
Well, the pool was for the students' use as they learned about the flexibility that muscles and so forth have in water. And she opened it to community rehab services. And so it was a busy area. And I was so sorry when it disappeared. It was gone. We needed more class space. When Helen moved all of us in the building in 1970, 71, there were other schools that were also there, but including the practical nurse program finally found a home down in the lower campus. And we spread out through the rest of the building, including our former pool. We didn't have it very long. After retirement, Helen continued to work in healthcare. She met in 1981 with Boise legislators talking about the need for care all across the country, our country here anyhow. And that was a brave thing for her to do at that time. Now everybody's encouraged to go talk to the legislators, but more often they're encouraged to come here. But she tried her best to spread her beliefs about health care to the state.
Helen Beckley was a remarkable woman.
She was.
A huge impact. And like you mentioned, the buildings now, the nursing buildings now named after her, which is the first building on campus to be named after a woman. And I think that's so deserving.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the scholarship carries on Helen's legacy in helping students in meeting a real need in our community for new nurses to be trained. And we're so excited to feature the Beckley Scholarship as part of Bengal Giving Day. Now, I never had the chance to meet Helen, but I do know her son, Steve. And Helen's son, Steve, is one of the best Bengals you'll ever know. He's an ISU alumnus himself,
he is.
graduated, I think, in 1982. But Steve has been such a great friend to Idaho State and to the nursing program. His company, HB&L, during Bengal Giving Day, will match any gift to the Beckley Scholarship 2-to-1. So you can make your gift go even further with 3 times the impact during Bengal Giving Day. So thanks to Steve and thanks to HB&L for doing that. Let's make a huge difference for our nursing program here at Idaho State and our nursing students in Helen's memory.
And she certainly was, I'm sure, a fabulous mother, and she inspired Steve. He tells me that every time I see him.
Well, Steve is a great man.
He is. I like him.
Well, remember, bengalgivingday.isu.edu. Search for the Beckley Scholarship. Again, that 2-to-1 match. And let's make a difference for our new
Fabulous.
nursing students in Helen's memory.
Good enough.
Thank you.